Hello everyone, AMHarbinger here, and today Naughty Dog released the second part of their documentary series, Inside The Last of Us. So, Inside The Last of Us Part 2, I apologize. So, as you can see, my hair is getting a little crazy, but unlike a lot of other people, I actually am okay with my hair being super long. But either way, today they're discussing gameplay features, and I should put a warning, spoilers of course, because you never know with these trailers, and I might say something that people probably aren't aware of, so just gonna put that out there just in case to be safe. Spoilers, and hopefully Naughty Dog doesn't copyright claim this video. They haven't done it with my other videos. Either I'm too small or they just don't care what my opinion is, which is fine. Either way, I am still excited for this game, and let's get to the trailer.
Under here.
What the gameplay needs to do is immerse you in the world, give you as many interesting actions to survive in this world and overcome obstacles. And obstacles could be infected, it could be other people, it could just be the environment, it could be rushing water, anything that could happen in this post-apocalyptic world.
Are you clean? Yeah.
But more
So that just basically confirms Dina is fully unaware that Ellie is not infected because she just asked her, are you clean? And that's the first thing you look for. We learned from the first Last of Us that bites and scratches can transmit the disease, which, you know, it's a bit ironic considering that Joel fights so many infected and never gets scarred despite never covering his hands or his elbows in like thick leather or some sort of protective armor. But yeah, there we go. Soft confirmation. Dina is completely unaware of Ellie's.
than anything, it needs to put you in Ellie's shoes, that you're experiencing what Ellie's experiencing, making you feel what she feels. Because the more we do that, the more the emotional beats of the story work for us, and the more they work for us in this very unique way that only works in video games.
The gameplay philosophy of The Last of Us Part 2 is putting you in the shoes of Ellie and everything that means. It means giving you a threat constantly, as this world has. It means giving you the hard choices.
Because this game takes place in such a hostile universe and our characters are pushed to do really difficult things, we want to put you in alignment with those choices. We want you to understand how hard certain decisions were for these characters, because they're hard for you.
I would say the overarching philosophy of how we approached designing the game mechanically is how can we take things to the next level.
Okay, I would never do that with a clicker, because whenever you're with a clicker, there's always multiple clickers, and you shoot that gun, they're all going to be alerted to your area. So I don't know if they were just showing off the mechanics there, but yeah, that was kind of a ballsy move.
Everything kind of comes out of the story. And how do we do it through systems? So one is you have to feel the pressure of survival. Survive by the skin of my teeth. How do I use all the scrap around me? Any kind of bullet, any kind of rag, any kind of bottle of alcohol. How do we give you that sense of being a survivor in this world?
And that's a bloater, so yeah, she shot one infected and alerted the more powerful infected.
Ellie is very small compared to Joel and more nimble. How do we make you feel like you're not the strongest person in the room, but you still should be able to rise to the challenge and survive, you know, a fight with a bunch of people that are all bigger than you?
I mean, Ellie has already proven herself that she can take on people much bigger than her. Heck, in The Last of Us 1, she is literally a child who takes down dozens of full-grown adults. Like in the DLC campaign, not the DLC campaign, the section where you play as Ellie, where Joel is injured, she literally kills a bunch of people. It's like, we already established that she's very tactical, strong-willed, and willing to do extreme methods in order to survive.
So therefore it meant creating a character and systems and mechanics that allow you to be much more nimble. And that's where we added a jump button.
Deal.
I like how he created this sophisticated sentence to just say, we create a jump button. I'm like, oh, okay, that's great and all. I mean, Final Fantasy 15 had a jump button, so I mean, you can jump as Noctis. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, at least to me. I mean, I'm pretty sure Joel can jump. I mean, he's a very strong guy. Just because you're huge doesn't mean you can't jump.
In the first game, we had a clamber button, but not really jumping. And here, Ellie can jump. The combat scenarios are much more vertical, where Ellie can use elevation to her advantage.
Prone is a huge, huge one. Prone, obviously, it means to lay flat on the ground. Something so simple, again, something that in real life you'd be able to do. Letting the player have access to all their weapons, all the items, crafting, everything while in that position. And it just creates so many more emergent things in gameplay.
Now that we have this other
That is a really good mechanic. I like that they included crafting as part of the prone system, which has been already established. They also showed that Ellie has the same senses as Joel with that radar system, but I'm pretty sure on the hardest difficulty, just like in the original Last of Us, you won't be able to use that, so you'll have to rely on the sound cues and enemy positions. Also, that system is just, it's very much like what was introduced in Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. I talked about that in my last video, but yeah, a lot of these stealth mechanics are from Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. I'm sure another game that I probably never heard of or probably forgot about used similar systems, but that's what I'm drawing a connection to right now. I'm pretty sure they're going to talk about how you can go down man-made objects and all that, because that was also introduced in past gameplay trailers, so we'll see how they try and explain this mechanic that's supposed to be revolutionary, at least the way they're voicing it.
State that the player could be in, which are very low to the ground. How else can we use this other than just hiding in vegetation? We're like, well, there's a lot of man-made things or
I knew it.
different structures that have collapsed that allow just enough space for you to crawl under, which means that now, as enemies are looking for you, you can crawl under things and hide. And it's just one more way to assess your environment and use it to Ellie's advantage. Now, because you can hide under things, we made them smarter and gave them the ability to look under things. So while you might hide somewhere and be safe for a while, eventually they're going to start looking under stuff. And if you're hiding under a truck and they spot you, they're going to yank you out and then try to kill you.
I mean, that's a really good mechanic. Making the AI that smart is extremely difficult, so I'm not going to downplay that. I know I made a lot of
Dodging is a big one.
I made a lot of connections to Konami's Metal Gear Solid 5, but, you know, it's a very difficult system, and I'm glad they implemented it in this game to add more combat variety.
Because now, with dodge, anytime you're in a scuffle, you have a chance to get away. You have a chance to counterattack. It lets escape be an option as well. Sometimes you just gotta run. And that is another part of this world, which is sometimes the threat is so overpowering that you just have to get away.
When you are partially hidden, or you're in grass, that means people from afar can't see you, but people from closer can kind of see you. They will eventually acquire you. You're not completely hidden when you're in grass.
She went into the grass. Watch yourself.
And it makes you as a player become much more aware of your surroundings.
Jump, prone, dodge, all these things feed into both exploration and combat, because it lets us expand the space. The size of spaces can be bigger, the intricacy of spaces can be more complex, and it still works exactly as you would expect.
So when it came to our level,
1 second, I kind of want to go a little back there. See the tool. So Molotov, brick, medkit, smoke bomb. I'm assuming this is some sort of trip mine. Yeah, it's probably a trip mine. We have different variations of a shotgun, bow and arrow, pistol with silencer, and of course the revolver, which is stronger but lacks a silencer.
So when it came to our level design, we really wanted to challenge ourselves to make a world that really felt like a real space as much as we possibly could, and didn't feel like a series of combat encounters and exploration spaces and then combat encounters that felt like a Hall of Horrors or something, but something that really felt like a space that you could explore that seemed like a legitimate urban environment. And that pushed us to make our level design even more open than it was in the first game, which for us at the time was pretty open. In this game, we've gone
I mean, the level design in the original Last of Us wasn't really open. Yes, you had some combat versatility in terms of choosing to stealth your way through enemies or just go in and kill everything. But for the most part, the gameplay was really straightforward. You were given a path that you had to take from point A to point B. And although the options were limited, you still had somewhat leeway of what you wanted to do. I mean, I get what they're trying to say here, but I'm pretty sure there's still going to be a point A and a point B that you're supposed to get some sort of ladder or get to a specific point in the open area. So I don't know how much I believe of that statement. I may be entirely wrong, but it seems more like it's going to be closed areas, and you just have to get to that specific objective by any means necessary.
So far in making the level design open, that there are actually entire story moments, entire combat encounters, like full scripted sequences that you may completely miss. And there are things that we feel like, even though a portion of our player base may never see these things, the fact that when you do encounter them, you feel like you discovered them, it lends them this charm and this magic that I think is unique to games, that, you know, this happened to me because of what I did and what the place I explored to.
So are they talking about like branching choices or just specific combat situations? If you pick up this item, this will happen, or there are hidden items in the area? Because that's a really vague statement. He's hinted at branching paths and optional dialogue based on your actions, but he's also not hinting at that. So I can understand what he's trying to say, but at the same time, he's hinting at something that I don't think will be in this game. I don't think branching choices is something that they at least explained in a past video. I could be wrong about that, but I never heard of that. But I get what he's trying to say. You go to a certain room, you find a revolver, then maybe an enemy comes past like this situation, or maybe there's something entirely different that happens that you decide, I don't know, you blow up a tanker and suddenly the infected go into one area. I don't know. It's a lot of things that you can deconstruct from that statement.
Crafting is very much about a payoff to exploration, meaning that when you enter new spaces, you want to look around for supplies. You want to open drawers and cabinets and look for different things that will allow you to craft either items that...
Wait, you can craft explosive arrows? That's awesome. It's been a while since I played The Last of Us, but I don't think that Ellie was able to do that. That's pretty awesome.
Can help you heal, items that can help you attack multiple enemies at once, such as the Molotov or the landmine that Ellie can craft. Items that can help augment your weapons, like the silencer for her pistol, or craft new kinds of ammo.
It also gives us tons of interesting gameplay choices and overlaps that you can do at any moment and on the fly. We try to be a game that wants you to make a lot of different decisions in combat as possible. And the way that we've expanded the recipe roster and all of the recipes and how they interact with each other is carefully chosen for the different ingredients and making sure that you always have these interesting decisions to make.
We put a much stronger emphasis on the importance of the choices you make in the long term for your character.
It'd be useful.
Through the weapon upgrade system, through the player upgrade system, there aren't enough resources in a single playthrough to fully upgrade your character.
Alright, so you get magazines to upgrade your character with specific boost. As we saw there, it said precision, but we also still have the medicine system. For those who don't know, you would like gather some sort of pill, and then you can use it to upgrade your character. I'm not sure if you could upgrade every skill in the original Last of Us. I don't think so. I think that makes sense. But yeah, you're not going to be able to do that in this game either. So I assume there's no new game plus. So every time you start a new game, you start from scratch, which makes sense. This isn't like God of War or Persona. So yeah.
The choices that you make, you're going to have to live with. And we wanted to make sure that all of the choices that you made had a really noticeable and tangible effect on the way that you play. You feel a greater kinship with Ellie because you are living with decisions that you've already made. Like you are continuing this through line of her journey through this world, and the moment-to-moment gameplay is influenced by that in a way that we haven't before. The realization that your choices have these long-term consequences is very much like the nature of the narrative of the game.
Okay, it's an upgrade system, dude. You don't need to make it seem like it's this sort of profound, unique system. It's an upgrade system. You get more powerful the more upgrades you obtain. That's all it is. That's like when you stretch out an essay to just meet the word count or the page length. I mean, seriously, he literally explained all of that in several sentences that it could have just been explained. That's the upgrade system. But I get what they're doing. It's PR speak and, marketing.
And I'm happy that the mechanics are supporting that.
And that's the end of the video. You know what I just noticed? That they have a pretty gutsy thing here. Usually they cover up the like and dislike ratio, but here it's actually a little decent. I think people have moved away from all the controversial statements, or maybe they just liked the video. I mean, I liked it, so I'll leave a like. Let's look. Oh, they actually kept the comments. Wow. So the comments aren't disabled. That's actually surprising. I don't know if there's a reason behind this. I mean, you would think that Naughty Dog and Sony would disable this. I mean, they have the full right to disable comments, just in case people put spoilers there. But I guess maybe someone forgot, or maybe they decided, you know what, all the leaks are out, screw it. Or maybe I did see online that a lot of people's claims were being removed, and I guess they just don't want to deal with that headache anymore. Either way, from what I experienced from this gameplay video, yeah, I know I made a lot of comparison to Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, because the sneaking system it's almost a direct line. It's directly like that system with the AI searching for Ellie in the various areas that she could be hidden in. I mean, I'm not trying to downplay it. Like I stated, the AI looks very advanced and very sophisticated. I like the new changes to the combat system. You're able to dodge, so you don't take the hit. You can actually evade that strike. There are going to be a lot of similar aspects to the first game, such as the upgrade system, and I guess they made jumping a big deal. I mean, it doesn't seem like a big deal, and I doubt you'll be able to jump at will. It doesn't seem like you will be able to do that. They never showed it within active combat that you will be able to jump at will. Only at this specific sequence right here, they show Ellie jumping. So they never show her jumping outside this situation. Oh, look at that snow pattern. Like, let's look at that. Like, look at that. I'm not sure, but is snow supposed to act like that? I know that's a little of a trivial objection, but that's a little weird. I guess this is maybe an early build or something, or maybe that she's just so heavy she just created that huge input. They also didn't really show the verticality advantages you could have to this. I mean, if Ellie can do something like that, what's going to prevent the clickers and the humans will probably just toss items, but what about the clickers and the infected? Are they going to chase Ellie up there like the Horde from World War Z? We'll have to see. I just especially like the finale, how they just stretched out the upgrade system into this profound, incredible system, like it's unique and absolutely fascinating. But whatever. Either way, it's a good video. It explains the basics of combat, crafting, the different options available to the player, and I am still excited for The Last of Us Part 2, despite what a lot of people are saying about this game. And I mean, they're entitled to their opinions, and a lot of them have valid opinions on this topic, but I have to play the game to see how I feel about it. I know all of the leaks. I have to experience it, and if it's implemented wrong, well, yeah, I'm going to be extremely sour about it and going to explain that in my review. But if it's good, and I hope it's good, because Naughty Dog has an acclaimed reputation for great games, so, never know. Either way, that's the video. What do you think about The Last of Us Part 2? Are you planning to get it? Did you cancel your pre-order? Are you still interested in the game? Do you hate the game? Let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you all next time. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.